question now became one of my most challenging ones because now identifying the major.
Exactly.
Yes, the major.
Yeah.
But I was quick to land on one, and that was the long period of specialization. And then after, you have to stand and then you bow before them, and then you move towards the door. Before you get out, turn again and you bow. That took some long hours in the sitting room.
Exactly.
At night.
Definitely.
That was now the time. So
Yeah,
you can
I
see.
totally understand each and everything.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict. Do I gotta?
Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel again. This is Annette Maya, and we are going to keep on talking about the MEXT scholarship. Remember that this is a scholarship that allows students from various African countries or other countries have their postgraduate education in Japan. Yes, so we're gonna keep on talking about it, and in this session we are going to be talking about the interview, his interview experience. So, Mr. Shinene,
Yes, please.
welcome again, and you are going to tell us about your interview experience. And the first question will be, oh, for those who don't know him, you have to go see the first video. But I mean, well, why do you have to go there? Please introduce yourself again to our viewers.
Yeah, first of all, it's nice to meet you for this interview. And I'm Chinene Stephen, teacher,
Nice to have you.
and actually I teach English language and literature. And I'm now proudly an awardee of the MEXT scholarship 2022.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Um,
So, how long did it take you to be called for an interview after submitting your application?
yeah, actually, after learning about this MEXT scholarship, it took me something like 1.5 months. Yeah, 1.5 months, because actually the interviews were open in December, and actually between December and January they are closed, and then later on in February I was emailed that I was actually considered for the interview.
Selected.
Yeah, selected. It is not a sure deal. It's not a sure deal actually. That's what called first screening. So when you are screened among the many, as in having the preliminary requirements, then you are called upon for the interviews, and they are two in nature.
Oh.
Yeah, that is, there is the written, and then later on the oral. But of course, same day. Yeah, same day.
Same day?
Yeah, same
Wow,
day.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've never
great.
done such interviews before.
Yeah, if you had to do them, you find them at MEXT. Yes.
Wow, so what is in the written interview? What do they ask about?
Yeah, in the written interview, it is quite interesting because one, the first one, there are two papers, and that is, the first one is English language, and it is basically the English skills, especially comprehension. Comprehension, and the questions are objective in nature, multiple choice. We have gotten to read a great deal of short passages, I can say, over 4 of them in 1 hour, and then you are supposed to pick alternatives, and that is 1 hour 60 minutes, and then you have a pause of something like 5 minutes, then go in for another round of Japanese. It was quite interesting.
Wait, wait, I mean an exam in Japanese?
Yeah, an exam with full paper in Japanese, written in Japanese.
I'm aware you have never studied Japanese. How was that?
Sincerely, when I looked at it, it was amazing. It was amazing, and we didn't think we would make it. Actually, the supervisor came in and briefed us and gave us courage that please make sure that you answer all the questions. One interesting thing was they were multiple choice, the objective type.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with those, yeah. I don't want to use the word that it could have been guesswork, but that was it. But indeed, I made sure that I followed the instructions because the chief instruction was answer all, answer all, and I did that. By the way, that paper was longer than the other for English because it
Really?
yes, it was supposed to be answered in 1.5 hours.
Wow.
Yes, but we were exempted in terms of time, and the supervisor was good enough that she told us that as you find yourself to have finished, please you can hand in. And I think the longest could have taken something like 25 minutes to have finished against all of us. Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness! I'm just thinking why it's long, or maybe because it's a new language for you. So then we are thinking we should give this more time because it's a new language or something like that. Well, whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just want to ask you. I mean, it's 1 hour, right? Oh, it was to be finished in 1.5 hours, right?
Yes, yes.
How long did it take you?
In fact, after understanding the chief instruction, I would understand the chief instruction to answer all, and actually by choosing the alternative of your choice, it didn't take more than 15 minutes. I was done. I was done with it.
I
Yes.
love that because they say they provide objectives. That's way easier than reading. I mean, if it's filling in, what can you do? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing totally.
Yeah.
But because it is objectives,
Yeah, you
and
can
objectives
guess.
are in our alphabet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
ABCD. I
Yeah,
said
it's like
writing it was very
next
interesting.
question B.
And then
Question C.
BCD, and then finding some balance in these letters. Yeah, that's how it
Oh my
was. Quite
goodness.
interesting. And
I mean, if I were you, I would have done that. I mean, you have never studied Japanese in your entire life. How can someone give you an exam, like an exam? So definitely just have to guess.
yeah, that's why actually it takes us to something.
Mm,
When you want something, you
mm,
have to make sure that you follow the instructions.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
because now if one of us or I
mm,
did not follow the instruction and didn't answer that of
mm,
Japanese,
mm,
perhaps declining it that I have nothing
mm.
about Japanese, and so
Yeah,
let me
definitely.
stop with the English. I don't think I would be at this level.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
I think it
yes,
also shows like obeying rules. You don't know it, but you're
yes,
trying it. You
yes.
don't know it, but yeah, it's I can do something.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's a good way.
there was a way out. The
Mm,
way out, especially as you have observed, it's not written. It's
mm,
just filling in, choosing the what, the
mm,
alternative, and
mm,
written in our alphabet. I could write an A, a
mm.
D, C,
Yeah.
and D, as in that. So yeah, it
Who
looked to be
mm,
a difficulty, though
mm,
isn't interesting in a way.
mm.
In a way, yeah.
Who took the longest time to finish?
Yeah, there was a colleague of ours, but
Mm.
definitely we're almost in the same brackets
Same
because
range. Mm.
all of us, we are non-Japanese language oriented.
Definitely.
Yes, actually
Mm.
we are seven,
Mm.
and I
Oh.
think between 15
Mm.
to 20 minutes,
Mm.
all of us were done.
Oh, congratulations on that. So they selected about 7 students. There were
Yes,
seven. Okay,
yes,
now I
selected for the
understand.
interviews
Okay. Do you know how many applied?
and applied.
Mm. Did
I
they tell you
think
that or no?
they didn't tell us about it, but
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Mm.
being a nationwide thing
Mm.
or a scholarship,
Mm.
I guess we could have been many.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they zero down to these seven, perhaps the ones who had the qualifications.
Mm.
You know, there is that thing of applying. It's
Mm.
another
People fear.
process. It's another
People fear.
process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
We
yeah,
talked about that in the first video. Yeah.
yes, yes.
So did you get to know your scores? Sorry, I'm asking so much about it, but did you get to know your
Uh,
scores?
I think MEXT did not disclose the scores. They said that it is upon actually in their guidelines. Okay,
Mm.
they hinted on it that
Mm.
it is actually at their discretion to
Mm.
disclose or not. You just get the message or mail
Mm.
whether you are selected or you are successful
Or
or
not?
unsuccessful. And I think just like our ministries here
Mm.
when they are employing.
Oh.
Most of them, let me talk about that of education.
Mm.
They don't disclose,
Oh, your
but
performance,
yeah,
but
you
just
sit
say
for
yes or no.
interview,
Mm.
and then they send you a message.
Okay.
but theirs is different in such a way that even when you are not successful, a message is sent.
Okay.
That's how good they are in communication.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because
so
you
the
got
person is not there
either.
waiting for it.
Yes.
So, I hope they send me a message.
Yeah.
They give some form of feedback in that email.
Yeah, they give the feedback of being successful or not.
No, I mean like where you would have performed better, what you should work on to
Yeah,
improve if you're
the
planning
feedback.
to apply next time or something like that.
No, actually, I didn't get a sharing with those who didn't go through. But I got a sharing with one colleague with whom we succeeded.
Oh, okay. And the message is the same.
Yeah, the message is the same. You are successful and you've been selected. Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the oral one. How was it? Because we've been talking about the written one. Let's talk about the oral one. How was
The
it?
oral. Yeah, the oral was in the afternoon. In the afternoon. So this was because we invited for interviews at 10:30. And one thing I learned about them at the embassy and I think the Japanese culture is about time management.
Oh man.
Time management. Time management. Not even 1 minute or two.
Not even seconds.
If you are late or you are earlier, you must have to wait until your time. So exactly, I was the third in the afternoon. In fact, mine was supposed to come at 40 minutes, actually 20, okay, 20 to 3 in the afternoon because we were lazy to go for lunch and then get back. So it was also another interesting one. There were 3 panelists. Yeah, actually 2 Japanese, one female and a male, and then another official from the Ministry of Education in Uganda. Yeah, so there were 3, and they fired questions. They fired questions, and I think it took something like 20 minutes
for each person.
Yes, 20 minutes in that interrogation, I should call it, and sharing. Yes.
Wow. So did you get questions from all of them?
Yeah, they fired questions differently, and I think this one from the ministry was the last one. But now these 2, I think the chairperson here, this lady, and then this gentleman asked a range of questions. Yeah, a range of questions, and they were quite interesting because they asked ranging from the process of application, and especially the study plan and outline of the study in Japan, and then the Japanese orientation. Yeah, what do you know about Japan?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the meaning of that scholarship itself. What is its major objective? So the questions turned around that, and then also now the other official from the Ministry of Education of Uganda also fired questions surrounding the local environment of our education. Yeah, so the questions were quite interesting.
Oh, wow. So it means that if there is a student who is preparing for this, it's important to know what a MEXT scholarship is.
Yes.
Their objectives or goals.
Yes.
And what you want to study in Japan.
Yes.
And how you can apply it in Uganda.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you remember any specific question you had from that officer from the Ministry of Education?
Yeah, the Ministry of Education asked some questions ranging from methodology. Problems you face as a teacher, any challenge I've ever faced as a teacher, and then the other question, which was broad, was to outline some of the major challenges of the Ugandan education system. Yeah, that question was a very, very nice one because I had loved it so much.
Oh,
yes,
really?
Yes, because when you look at our education system sincerely, you'll find that it is having some challenges.
Not some, a lot.
Yeah, like a lot. Yes, like a multitude. Yes, but basically, I might
be wrong, but
and he actually said the major. What could be the major? And that's why that question now became one of my most challenging ones because now identifying the major.
Exactly.
Yes, the major. But I was quick to land on one, and that was the long period of specialization.
Oh, you're so smart. I love your brain.
Yeah, that's how I did it. And I don't know, by God's mercy, that's why
I
it
think
went
you
on
are
like
right.
that.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yes,
We studied so many things for a long time, yet we don't
yes,
really need them. Yeah,
yes,
that's true. We studied the Majimaji Rebellion, some Mamuska to Zanzibar, something like that. I
yes.
have never applied that in my life.
Then the Mamputo Ngoni,
I don't even know what that is.
I mean,
During
that
the
is
years.
history and so on.
That's way
Yes.
too much.
So you have these 2 years for pre-primary. You go for a 7, you go for a 4 O level, and then 2 A level. You haven't done anything so far. You cannot do anything tangible, and then after add on the 3 or 4 for graduate. So you could see close to 20 years. Really. So I think they were listening and nodding when I was taking them through that experience.
Oh, that's really good.
And putting some notes down.
Whoever was guiding you, I
Yeah.
think that is the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, Holy Spirit and some other colleagues of mine, as we shall get there. Yes.
So how did you prepare for this interview? I mean, as you.
Generally,
Mm,
the moment I was invited for the
mm,
interview,
mm,
I didn't just sit back
mm,
because I knew what it means.
mm.
One thing I should tell you is that I had done interviews before, but not for MEXT.
Exactly.
Yes. And my experience on the interviews was a positive one. Yeah, generally in the previous ones. So, yes, when I got to have an opportunity for this, I said, okay, yes, I have some skills for interviews and I know how to prepare for them. But this is a special one. It is mixed. What is their culture? So I was quick to share with some of my colleagues. One of them is Anne.
Oh, me?
Who has experienced the Japanese culture, and another one is Ronald. Okay, Ronald. He was also a colleague of mine who had lived in Japan some years, such that they could give me some culture. And in fact, now Anu gave me some prerequisites and requirements, and then also now Ron sent me some websites which could actually had some interview guidelines for MEXT. So when I went through them, I landed on some important article about it, the culture of the interviews themselves. How do you dress up, the dressing code? You have to be gently smart. Okay, you have to look gentle, and then when you are entering, you have to knock and then continue and then bow before the panelists.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then you are told take a seat, take it, and then you greet them. Then after that, you answer all the questions, be confident enough, and then after you have to stand and then you bow before them, and then you move towards the door. Before you get out, turn again and bow. So I was in the really culture. So
all that?
I did that. I was well cultured.
Wow.
Yeah, I was well cultured.
You're such a great student. I mean, you're gonna be a great student.
Yeah, thank
I mean,
you.
It's sometimes hard
Yeah.
to apply something that you just learned about, when you are not in that environment.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
in Japan, but you're doing things of the
Yes.
Japanese culture.
Yes.
That's
And even
amazing.
greeted them.
In Japanese?
Yeah.
Ohayou
Ahoi
gozaimasu.
gozaimasu. I was about to fuck them.
But it was, that was konnichiwa because that was afternoon, right?
Yeah, but it was the first time to see them.
So, ne.
It could apply also. Yes.
Yeah, then Ronnie was more helpful to you than me. Because you learned all those things. When a person sees that you appreciate their culture, you're doing,
yes.
As they do because you're going to their country,
Yes.
you earn a mark from that.
Yeah,
If I was on the
yes.
panel, I would appreciate that. I give you another mark. Honestly, yeah, that
Perhaps
is
I
something
took
attractive.
it. I could have taken it because at the moment I was informed that I was successful and recommended to MEXT. It means that maybe that mark I was given. Yes.
Supposedly, and you seem to have a great sense of humor. So yeah, I mean, normally people who have humor, they usually crush interviews. From my point of view, I might be wrong, but yeah, usually
you could be right.
Yeah.
Because sincerely, with all my experience on interviews, I don't want to use one word that I haven't found many challenges not going through. In fact, if I didn't go through for MEXT, it would be my first. Yeah, I've gone through even for this the government job and even this private. I've been going through and for the first time. So
well.
yeah, I try.
Well.
I try. And my lady sometimes tells me that
your wife, not your lady.
Yeah, my wife.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, my wife always tells me about how I always I'm always on the net and the computer trying. So I saw you here doing a lot. I didn't know that you were doing that. I said yes. You have to prepare. You have to prepare a lot.
Yes, that's so nice, So you
Yeah.
were preparing for these interviews without her knowing that you were preparing for this interview.
Yeah, but by the way, she knew I was, but she didn't know the details and how hectic it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see, opening a lot websites now, taking notes and so on. Yeah, right from the application process.
It's good. It paid us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's good that she was also patient with you.
Yeah, she was.
Sometimes you stay with a person who doesn't understand what you're doing. They're like, "Oh, I want you this side this time." It's like, "No, I'm still doing something." No, you have to take care of the baby. You have to do the, you have to do this, something like that. So
and also took some long hours in the sitting room.
Exactly.
At night.
Definitely.
That was now the time. So
Yeah,
you can
I
see.
totally understand each and every. So when they sent you the email that you have been selected for this interview, did they provide any guidelines on how to prepare for this interview, or it was just an email, you've been selected, come on this time?
Yeah, actually, there was no guidelines, but they just informed us. It was informative that you have two written
interviews
and oral. Yes,
in the afternoon.
yes. So I think they expected us to have prepared for private and maybe have all that interest to getting to know. Perhaps if they had guided us, it would be some kind of malpractice. They feared for that, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay then.
Yeah.
And then we finished this one. The next one was what kind of questions were you asked? We finished that, right?
Yeah. We finished it.
What was the hardest question, if you remember? The hardest question that pinched your nerves?
Yeah, actually, the hardest question would have been the other one of the education system and what is the biggest challenge. But again, there is another one of having an expression in Japanese language. Yes, that one came in. This gentleman in the middle, I think he was the chairperson of the panel. Yeah, I had to ask him such a question. In fact, towards the end there.
No, really?
And remember, I had some crumb work of some few expressions, the thanking and so on, until I remember that greeting.
Oh,
so
like
that's why I thank you so much. Yeah, he gave it to tip to me. Yes, and I got without sincerely. Yes,
really?
Because
Did
yes,
I tell you that?
Yes, the greetings. Remember, I asked you about
how they greet.
Yes, and then
really?
Thanking.
Oh,
Yeah,
arigato gozaimasu.
yeah, arigatou gozaimasu and so on.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm happy they were somehow helpful to you.
So much because it impressed them.
Oh,
yes,
they asked you
ahai
to say any
gozaimasu.
expression
Yes,
in
can you
Japanese.
have because now you're interested in Japan and you want to go there. Now, do you have any expression you can make in Japanese language? I said, thank you so much. I think by the time I entered here, I didn't greet you in Japanese, so I have to greet you right now. Ohayou gozaimasu. And then they had a smile. Yes, I bet. So they had a smile.
Oh, really?
And then they went to another thing.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was, yes, quite challenging because how I didn't know much about Japanese language.
You can easily forget
Okay, yeah, and then secondly, I could have gone there without any of those expressions. Yeah, so if only I did not have any, it would be something also laughable. Laughable, yeah, to have interest in going to a country, but when actually I don't know anything of their culture, not even greeting or thanking, but at least I thank God and Anne.
And no, come on, this was you mainly did it. If I kind of contributed, it was this much. It starts with the applicant. You did your best, and you were able to ask some questions. Oh, they might ask me about this. I'm going to
Yes.
their culture. I should
Yeah.
know a few words, and you searched for the answers.
Yes. Yeah,
So
tried.
it's you mainly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's you.
that is true. That is
Definitely,
true.
yeah. It starts with the
Yeah.
applicant, the passion for what you want, and then you look for questions you predict.
Yeah, by the way,
Questions they
passion
might
is
be
so important.
exactly.
Passion is, yeah, right away
Yeah.
from the other time we went to the embassy, you remember. It
Yeah.
started off from there. When the
2 years ago.
Japanese, yeah, some 2 years ago, when the Japanese, now Japan was in my veins, boiling.
Starting
Yeah,
to become
I
red.
want to get to Japan. It starts from there.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a starting point,
Mm.
you cannot go forward.
Yeah.
You must have a starting point. You must first of all think about something. Yes. So
And
by
then you
think
plan.
about this, yes. Then when I got that scholarship on the Ministry of Education website, like we talked about it earlier on, I landed on MEXT, and it was Japan. And it was teacher training students
Wow.
scholarship, and I was a teacher. I said, this is the greatest opportunity I should take.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. How did you feel after the interview? Whenever you do an interview, you leave the
mm,
room and you feel like, So how was your feeling?
So, after oral or generally,
I
oral or
mean,
the written, I talk about
we
oral
can talk
because
about them
now,
separately.
yeah,
If the
separately,
feelings were separate,
yeah,
were different.
separately,
Sorry.
yeah, with the first one, which is written, I felt I had done my best in the English
English
paper
version.
or version,
An English
because
teacher,
yeah,
by the way.
being a teacher of English language, of this experience, because even experience is also required somewhere. Not below 5 years of experience. So I had the vast deal of experience. I said, no, this one I should have done something, and I felt I had done my best. Then when it came to the Japanese version, then that one, sincerely speaking, I left it in the hands of God. So I said, if the consideration would lie most or more at the side of the Japanese version, I didn't know how I could get there. But I answered all. That was the major instruction. I made sure that I answered all. So I said, this with the other percentage, I think I'm getting by. Yeah, that was the feeling. In fact, I felt I should get through. Yes. And then the other one of the oral, sincerely speaking, because of the culture I exhibited and the confidence, by the way, I had. And upon reaching there, yes, I had prepared. And the questions they asked, because they drilled much on the study plan.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, and outline of the study. In fact, they were perusing. Yeah, they had the papers already, going through question by question, objectives, and then methodology, the aim, objectives, aims, the purpose. How is it going to benefit your country?
Applicability.
Yes. And I was sincere articulating them, because my study plan or course, I mean the theme, it was something which I had loved so much. The effects of language too. I mean language one, in learning language two. Okay, that's now the mother tongue, and then the second language. And for our case in Uganda, it is English language. In fact, I reminded them that because they asked a question, why Japan? Okay, why do you want a scholarship in Japan? And then I also tried to answer them in a way. I told them that Japan, having the same language experience like Uganda, taking English language as their second as well, not the first language, I thought it would be a good environment and culture to do my research with such as learners or students who are experiencing the same language situation like Uganda. And that's how I went about it. Yeah.
So you after all these things, you felt like you have answered all their questions, and you were like, I think it's been fine, right?
Yeah. In fact, the last question they asked me, this lady now, she asked me that, are you aware that when you go for this scholarship, after its time of the course, you're supposed to get back your country, to practice the knowledge you have gotten from there. Are you aware? I told her that definitely I'm aware. And in fact, I told her that the moment I go through, I'm going to apply for study leave. Such that when I go, I come back and then do this exactly as I was. And she was nodding and taking a note down. I said, okay, this is an assurance. Yeah.
That's just so good. Yeah, I just
Yes.
want to say one thing about the languages. Well, in Japan, they basically study in Japanese, and they go to universities. That's Japanese. Yes. In Uganda, we have so many languages, so it's hard. It's actually different. In Japan, they share the language. Though there are some parts of Japan, like Okinawa, where the language kind of differs, but they still understand each other. Here in Uganda, we have over how many languages? So many languages.
Actually, there are over 58 plus.
Exactly.
This is a heterogeneous nation.
Exactly. And we study in English.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is our official and the language of medium of instruction.
Exactly. So the situation might differ in Japan, but you kind of, we're able to merge it out.
Yeah, but is English also part of their subject study?
It's like a subject. They study it as a subject.
It is
like
a subject.
Luganda, kana? Luganda janai, no. Not Luganda. Oh, sorry.
It is like Swahili.
Yeah, Swahili or Germany. If you want it, you study it.
Yeah. It is a language.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a language, not a compulsory one.
Exactly. But here, it's a compulsory.
Yes.
It's a compulsory. It's compulsory because we study in English.
But English is also chiefly used there.
In Japan?
Yeah. Is it broadly used?
No, not really. Depends. Our universities, yes. But in the community, it's not that really common. Yeah, it's not that common. But in universities, definitely. The universities are extremely international. People love Japan. It's so safe. Apart from the other incidents of Mr. Abe who died, but
one of the points I mentioned was that
safety.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah, Japan is a very safe country, and their foods are extremely healthy. I love them.
That's why you have that skin. I see this.
I've not been in Japan. I've been in the
Surely.
Kampala.
Kampala, for how long have you been here now?
10 months.
And then the other side, how long were you there?
1 year and 1 month.
You can see. The 1 year and then the 10 months. The other one is still working.
That was UK.
Yeah, it was UK. He had left Japan for some time ago.
Okay. Okay. So overall, generally, what do you think they are looking for? Can you summarize the major things they are looking for, and we close this chapter?
Okay, they are looking for, as in for interview.
Yeah, interviews. Yeah, during the interviews, the written and the oral one. What are they looking for really?
Yeah, for the oral, for the written, I think they are looking for language ability. Because they are aware, I think they are aware that Uganda is basically for English, and that's why they set it in English language. And also, I think the courses we are selecting in the application also inform them, because because there is a score for Japanese competency or Japanese ability, and if you score 0,000 Japanese ability, it means that you are in for English. Therefore, when they are thinking preparing their interview materials, they depend on that. That's why now they gave us this for English language purely because they know that all of us have that background.
Exactly.
So you have to have a good deal of comprehension. Yeah, and some of the passages are there on the net. Yeah, the sites have them, though they may not be the same, but I mean you get the picture of what you're about to get to. And then this of Japanese, yeah, if you really have some Japanese competency, then it's an advantage, added advantage for you. But again, I want to encourage you, whoever, even if you don't have it, it is about answering all the questions. Yeah, and then
close your eyes.
Yes, yes, you answer the question. Then about this oral, yeah, oral. It really requires some research.
Oh, they require to understand the research.
Yeah, to understand the research. Basically, they want you to be well versed with your topic and area of study.
Understanding what you're going to
do. And they want to know whether you are the one who wrote your study plan
so
and outline of study. That's why they have it there, and then you're going through it. But if you don't have it, it means that you are the one who created it. So if you meander through your own work, it means you're not serious. So yeah, they have to go through it, and they take some time on it. Yeah, something like 8 to 9 minutes about that research plan.
Wow.
Yes, this is chief. And then you need to know about Japan. Yeah, some few facts about Japan. Yes,
where you're going.
Yes. What is Japan? Why do you need to go and study from there? So you talk about it chiefly, generally about it, how peaceful, how they don't practice racism, okay, how it is first world. Yeah, don't feel to mention it. It is the first world. Yeah, it is the first world. Yes. So which means their services high.
High class.
Yeah, high class, including education system. So and then also they want you. Another major issue is they want you to appreciate the fact that that course is going to help your country, okay, to get to another level. Your knowledge you get, so you need to have that. How helpful? In fact, that is another question. How is the knowledge you're going to get at the end of the course benefit the Ugandans or your people in the country? And also, how is this scholarship going to foster or enhance further the relationship between Japan and your country and internationally? Yeah, because now after going through it, you become an international. Definitely. Because even others who have been there now, you have now an international community. Because it's not only from Uganda, there are many on MEXT. So they want that cooperation. They want you to show that understanding that at the end of the course, the relationship between Uganda and Japan is going to be fostered further, and it will continue. Okay, through the diplomatic missions and any other activities. They want you to do to show them that. And secondly, they want you to show that you understand education as a teacher, as being a teacher. That's why a teacher of 5 years or 5 years of experience. That's why you should be a teacher of 5 years and above. So a teacher of 5 years and above experience, you need to show the knowledge about your field and teaching as a whole, as a professional teacher. That's why they can ask you about methodologies and some challenges you have faced, some improvements you need to enhance. In other words, you need to have understood your education system as such. You need to have understood it.
If you are in the education system and you're applying to be in that, you are applying to do research in that area.
Yeah, in that area, because MEXT is actually a teacher training students. You should be a teacher. Yeah, it is specifically for teachers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
teacher.
About that in
yeah.
the past video.
Yes, teacher training students. Yes, so it is basically for teachers, and that's why I chose that. Yeah, specifically. So you need to understand the education system generally. Okay, yeah, I think when you have that and the culture of their culture, Japanese interview culture, like I told you in the preliminaries, it is also important. Okay, yeah, and of course having some phrases or some language, yeah, for beginners, at least a statement, yeah, to show that you have interest. Yeah, you have interest. Yeah, they want you to show that you have interest.
And you've done something about it.
Yes, you've done something about it, because you see, in James, when you go in James, you find that faith without action is also dead. Yes, faith without action. So you will say, I love Japan. But if you don't have any phrase in Japanese, and you say, I love Japan, how can we know that you love it? So that's why you have to back it with some evidence that you have even if it is not so accurate. But they say you have labored. Yeah, it will echo that, yeah, he has done something about it. So I think that is how the preparation should be generally. And if you prepare like that, I don't think you will not be invited or informed that you are recommended to MEXT. Yeah, in the next email that you will follow.
Did you get asked about your university? The universities you applied to?
No. They didn't ask me about that, but it was a requirement in the application. Yeah, because I had to select five alternatives according to the preference. That is what we call the a placement preference form for the university. And my first actually was Hokkaido. And it was actually considered. Yeah. So they didn't ask because one of the conditions is that it is mixed, that finally chooses the accepting university for you. And you have no option to choose another one. But of course, they choose from your list. Yes, from your list, but they can choose any for you. So that's why I think they didn't ask me questions about it, because the selections had not yet been finished. In fact, you get to know about your university
After.
in the very last communication from Japan that you have been considered.
Okay, now I
Yeah.
understand. So there
Yes.
must be an agreement between MEXT and then the university.
Yes.
So
And
where there
then
is
you get to know.
perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Makes absolute sense.
Yes.
I just want to say something quickly. Next, I think this is a specific one for teacher training something.
Yeah.
But there are other students who are going under next and they are not teachers, but they are in different fields. For example, engineering and all that, nature sciences mainly. Yeah, so I don't feel like, oh, this is only for teachers. No, no. This is a specific one for teachers.
Yeah, specific one, by the way, because they even take undergraduates.
Definitely.
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
and postgraduates. Yes, it is wide.
Yeah.
It is wide. Only that this one, ours,
Exactly.
was for teachers.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes, we have
specifically.
cleared that.
Yes, yes, that you're right.
Thank you so much, everyone. This will be the end of our interview. If you have any questions you think that we have not covered, or if there is anything that you think we have left out, put it in the comment section. I'll find my best. Oh, sorry, I will do my best to find him, message him. Hey, somebody asked this. What can you say about it? And we get you the answer. And if you want to get a quick answer from me, just follow me on Instagram and message me. When you message me on Instagram, don't come with a hi. I won't respond to you. I'm so busy. I understand everyone is busy, but come on, guys. If you just come with a hi in my inbox, like, how can I know what you want? In the first message, tell me exactly what you want from me, and then I look for that. I give you the answer. Than just saying a hi. Yes. I'm sorry if I'm rude, but yeah, I just want to be able to be useful to you, but also help me to make my work easy. Thank you so much. Yes. So we are done. I'm so happy that I've hosted you. It's been a,
Yeah, so it
so
has
great,
been a good experience.
fantablastic.
Yeah, fantablastic, you say. Yeah, it has been so interesting and very, very good experience.
Thank you for sharing. I mean, some people tend to be like, oh, I'm camera shy. I don't want to share my interview experience. I don't want this, But you have agreed, so thank you so much. We
I'm
want
not like
people
that, because for us, we want to help others out,
Mm.
and we need to share knowledge with
No,
others.
thank you.
Yeah,
I feel also
I feel also glad to get such clips and videos when I'm also learning something new. Yeah, and also when I'm following you, I'm learning a lot
So you're
every
giving
other
back.
day.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Let's go.